It's kind of funny how we always return to this draft, right? Like, every time we talk about Cole Caulfield, it's always, okay, 2019 NHL Entry Draft 15th overall. Every time we talk about Zegras and Seider, it's always, oh, these guys were top 10 picks in the 2019 draft. Zegras went 9th overall after guys like Broberg. How the heck did that happen? We always refer to this draft when it comes to current NHL rookies and young stars, but there are some players from this draft that kind of get lost in the shuffle a little bit, and in particular, I'm talking about the guys that were taken at the top of the draft. Now, for a while, we were making a ton of videos about Jack Hughes and Capo Caco, talking about how these guys were really not living up to expectations at the start of their young NHL careers. For Caco, you could say there still is a little bit more development time to go for him. For Jack Hughes, he is already a point per game, so yeah, he has really exploded in the best way possible, but the guy who gets pushed even further down the totem pole when you refer to, talking about 2019 draftees and all that, is the guy taken after Hughes and Caco. Let's talk about the 3rd overall pick from the Chicago Blackhawks at the 2019 NHL Entry Draft, Kirby Dach. Because when I think about Kirby Dach, I think about the guy that in my Why I Want video in 2018, I said straight up in the video, yeah, I think this guy's going to go 3rd overall. I think he's going to be the 3rd pick taken by any team that wants a big center, a playmaking guy who's got some really good hands and some very good offensive IQ. I said that back before the new year even came, and to my credit, I'll say that Kirby Dach did go 3rd overall, so I was correct, but after I made that video, Kirby Dach went on like a huge point drought where he didn't score any points, and that really did devalue his overall draft stock. Let's take a look at the profile over here for Kirby Dach. He is 6'4", 196 pounds. A little bit lanky, but that's okay. Signed till the end of this season, 2022, $925,000 is the AAV because it's an entry-level contract. He was taken 3rd overall, despite the fact that some scouting outlets had him as low as the 11th overall pick. Bob McKenzie had him at 5, McKeen's at 4. Future Considerations had him at number 7. And you can see this from the video I made when he was actually drafted by Chicago, but I was super surprised. Like, even though I was happy that my own prediction came true, he was not supposed to go 3rd in the eyes of a lot of people paying attention to this draft. But either way, the Blackhawks went out there and selected the first of what was 3 WHL top talents taken in this draft. This was the guy who just happened to have 73 points in 62 games played as a playmaking Ryan Getzlav-like center. Eventually, though, spending some years in the NHL, he made the NHL right away. Kirby Dach now finds himself with 20 points in 49 games played this year. He's on pace for 32 points in 79 total games, and he's actually gone out there and improved his stock over the past little bit in quite a meaningful way. He's got 6 points in his last 10 games, which is the most production he has had in a while, but alas, there still is a lot more to talk about with Kirby Dach. Like this, for example. There was a quote by Derek King, the interim head coach for the Chicago Blackhawks, talking about Kirby Dach, and this is kind of the entire reason why I'm making this video. This is what he had to say about the 3rd overall pick if he decides to continue to be a better person, a better player, on and off the ice, and work on everything he needs to work on, and do the right things, and be patient with the process. He could be a top player. He's in a rush. He wants it now. Sometimes it takes a little while. That's our job to keep him focused and keep him on the right path. We will. He'll get there. And at first glance, this is like, okay, yeah, this is a coach or an interim head coach, I guess, gassing up his players, talking about how they're going to become better and how they need to improve this and that. But that first quote is so odd to me. If he decides to continue to be a better person, a better player on and off the ice, and work on everything he needs to work on and do the right things and be patient, he could be a top player. What does that even mean? Like, I've never actually seen a quote talking about a player and his development actually involving the process of that player becoming a better person off the ice. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just reading a little bit too much into that because Derek King went out there and said this, but he did say it. Kirby Dach is in a rush, and he wants it today. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, sometimes it takes patience. And so, my question is to Chicago Blackhawks fans, how do you feel? How do you feel about Kirby Dach and his overall development path? Because, in my opinion, if I take a look at the top guys at the 2019 NHL Entry Draft, I take a look at the guys who are in the NHL today. Obviously, Jack Hughes, he is a point per game. He is fantastic. You love to see that. But you take a look at everybody else from the 2019 draft and how they're doing this season. Zegras, 39 points, 47 games played. Pretty great. You have Dylan Cousins, 25 points, 49 games played. He's outscoring Kirby Dach on the Buffalo Sabres. Then you have some other guys here who have fewer points than Dach, but they're also doing it in fewer games, so their points per game number are actually kind of higher. Obviously, Matt Boldy is one of the only ones that is actually up there alongside of Jack Hughes. Cole Caulfield is now outproducing Kirby Dach, even though Caulfield had that terrible start. Newhook is here, Byram is here. Kirby Dach isn't doing terribly. That's not the implication I'm trying to make here, don't get me wrong. It's just, are you happy with this? Let's go back over onto Twitter and take a look at another quote here from Ben Pope. This is a survey, a little Twitter poll that he did for Blackhawks fans to give their opinions. How many points will Kirby Dach score next season? He is on pace for 33.5 points over 82 games this season, and the majority of Blackhawks fans believe he'll get under 45 points in this respect. Now, I get it. It takes a while, and Kirby Dach is only 20 years old, but based off of what NHL prospects, especially ones that are taken third overall, are supposed to be, I'm interested in seeing what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I've been seeing a few Blackhawks fans as well even bringing up the idea of trading this guy because the only untouchables the Blackhawks have apparently are Caves, Chain, and Seth Jones. So that puts everybody else on the table, that puts DeBrincat on the table, that puts Hagel on the table, even though they likely wouldn't want to trade Hagel, and they might need to listen to offers on DeBrincat before actually getting a deal done there. But Kirby Dach has always been the wild card to me when I think about where the Blackhawks go with their direction because, I mean, he is young. If he really wanted to go out there and rebuild, he's the type of guy that can help you in that respect. Like, 10 years from now, how good is Kirby Dach going to be? Probably a lot better than what he is right now. Do you want to go out there and be patient with this guy, or would you say, okay, I like Dach, but we can probably get a haul for him, so maybe we trade him? I'm not too sure. And what are your thoughts about these comments from Derek King in general, saying, oh, he needs to be a better person as well as being a better player, because he wants it now, he's in a rush, and we gotta wait and take things slow. It's kind of wild because when I think about third overall picks, like, it's tough to find third overall picks that really explode right off the bat. It usually takes a while, does it not? Leon Draisaitl took a few years before he became Leon Draisaitl. Some of them are a little bit better than others, like Miro Heiskanen, for example, third overall to the Stars. He is amazing, and he was really good really quickly. And then you have the other third overall picks that are just kind of giving us more questions than answers. Jesperi Kotkaniemi was out there. You still have Kirby Dach here. You've got the guys who really didn't receive any favors when they were developing, like Drouin and Galchenyuk, Dylan Strome. It's very much a grab bag as to how the caliber of talent pans out when you're looking at the third overall spot. So if you're a Blackhawks fan, let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on Kirby Dach? I get it, there have been some injury problems that have slowed him down as well, plus the fact that he wasn't really supposed to go third overall in a lot of people's eyes, but considering all the factors, you know, he's here now, he was taken third overall, he has developed in such a way where now he's scoring at a 30-point pace. What are your opinions on the way he has developed so far in the 3 years or however many years it has been that Dach has played in the NHL? Do you see bigger and better things coming out of this guy for Chicago, or do you think they're going to go out there and trade him? If a trade is the answer because you feel like you want to go in a new direction, let me know in the comments all your thoughts and opinions about that. I know probably the majority of Blackhawks fans are going to go out there and say, no, what the heck? Keep this guy. But of course, not everybody is going to have exactly the same opinion, so go ahead and tell me what yours is in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this Boucher, and bye.